Oh, look who's here. Welcome back, folks. I know it's been a while since we've released another episode, but here we are. We're all back. And lots of things happening, as far as recent events in the piano world. This gentleman here you see before me is
Dr. Marc.
And I'm Elmer, and we are
Marc and Elmer's PSI Piano Seed Investigations.
Hey, Papa, we're here too. We came back.
Oh, they're back.
They're back. We came back. Me and Tucky and the Grobu.
Oh, I heard you got a new movie out.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I guess he does.
Yeah.
He talks about as much about it as he does in the movie, I think.
Really? Oh, okay.
He's not a big talker.
Yeah. Well, he still looks pretty sprightly.
Yeah.
Even after all that work he put in. I didn't know, that whole time he was gone, he was out making a movie.
Yeah, that's where he was.
Boy, he keeps secrets. Did he
know.
tell you?
I didn't know.
I didn't know either.
I didn't know he was making a movie.
Yeah, I mean...
and he didn't bring over the Mandalorian guy or nothing?
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Well, my goodness.
But he just goes like that, and he's going.
Yeah.
Just disappears.
Well, they are the master of quantum physics and, control of time and
kind of
space.
Lucky that he hangs around here sometimes. But.
Yeah, I would imagine. So, anyways, folks, we are back. We are hot as ever. If you like our show, like our topics of conversation, you enjoy us as company, please go down below our video and like, comment, and subscribe. And let's not forget to visit our Facebook. Okay? It's an open forum. We're open for discussions. And before we move on, I'll do that next. If your birthday is today, Thursday, May 14th, 2026, you share the same birthday as Yora Guler.
Yeah, Yora Guler.
You've heard of her?
Oh, yeah.
Gull.
I've got one or two recordings of hers.
Wow.
Some good stuff. Yeah. She was an impressive pianist. She's Jewish, Russian Jewish or something like that?
Russian-Romanian heritage. Yeah. So anyway, she was born today, 1895, died in 1980.
Yeah.
Last name spelled Guller.
Yeah. She's a pianist in the old grand style.
Yes.
The recordings are quite... if she played Bach, it's Bach in transcription, big stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember that times. But anyways, Wikipedia has her down as France.
Uh-huh.
Of, her... I guess she decided that to be her citizen. Yeah. She was born Rose Georgette Guler.
Oh.
That was the name she was born with.
Huh.
Don't know anything else about her. But before we move on, let's give our little, the MO, folks. Take care. We even though we talk about pianos, people, and concerts, and all that good stuff, we also like to remind everybody to take care of your piano. Keep it nice and clean, dust-free. This is Corey piano polish, and this is the lemon oil for the non-finish. Good stuff here. Go ahead and use it. Now, I guess we ought to jump right into it, huh? Since we haven't seen each other.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm still preparing a recital.
Huh?
I have most of the program memorized at this point. I believe I have the Haydn Fantasy. I finally got the Beethoven 32 Variation C minor. The Fauré Ballade is still a little shaky. I have it completely memorized now, but a little shaky. The Mephisto Waltz, remarkably, I memorized that quickly, but once again, the technique end of it is still a little bit on the shaky side. I didn't have such a hard time memorizing that one as much as I did with the Fauré Ballade. I think it's because I've heard so many performances and heard so many recordings of it. I just have this, memory recall of what it sounds like, and that was pretty much about it. The only thing else left that I have to get down under my fingers is the Chopin's 3 Noble Etudes, and the Griffiths,
Wow.
the Pleasure Dome of Kubla Khan.
Wow.
That one's about. I've got it. The first 4 or 5 pages memorized already.
So where are you thinking to do this? Do you have a place in mind?
Well, I'm thinking of doing this over at Graves. I'm trying to make arrangements with it. I'm told that they no longer they charge you for it, so they borrow their recital hall.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, if I could talk to the proprietors, I know them fairly well. We'll see what we could do. Otherwise, they have recitals over at Stanton's as well.
They do?
Yeah, they do. It's a very small. It's not as big. It's half the. It's probably about a third the size of Graves recital hall. It's about the third the size. The piano's not that great, and if you wanted to get a technician out there, you'd have to do it out on your own pocket. The piano's okay. They have student recitals there, and otherwise, the scheduling of recitals is rather limited in time because they open at 10 and they close at 5.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so yeah, they're not open on Sundays.
No churches?
No churches? Well, it's always a possibility. I could ask around. St. Paul's won't have me anymore.
Oh.
So they just don't do stuff. They want to keep. I guess they want to keep the. I don't know. The dignity of the church or something because it doesn't allow for concerts there anymore.
Oh.
So sad to say. But aside from the programs I've been working on, believe it or not, I've been sort of doodling around with Bach's Chromatic Fantasy and Fugue a little bit.
Oh, good for you.
So I just I'm taking it slow, just working on the first 2 pages of the fantasy, and that's about it. So I'm scared of the fugue. The fugue part.
I played that thing when I was 15 or 16, I think.
Really? Chromatic Fantasy and Fugue?
You can make it. It's a long fugue, but it's only a 3-voice fugue.
Yeah, I know, but still.
Yeah.
Because you're still going.
Yeah, and
like
it is awkward in a few spots. I remember. It does that thing where you realize he wrote this for a double keyboard.
Yeah.
But it works.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fun to play.
Oh, I hope it will be. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Now, the latest excitement that's come out of YouTube. I don't know if you've heard about this, but a pianist, an old-time pianist, Victor Gilles, last name spelled Gilles.
Oh.
It's exciting. We have audio, visual footage of him performing Chopin's Nocturne in F sharp major. This video footage is taken from 1928.
Oh, wow.
1928. This is one of the eldest audio-visual footage we will ever have of a pianist who was born raised in the traditions of the 19th century old-timers.
Yeah.
You're talking at least 100 years before the golden age.
Was he an older guy?
He is an older guy.
Oh, so he's really 19th
So,
century.
he's a little bit over middle age.
Wow.
He still moves around pretty well. He still has this obviously, and the poise he sits the way he sits at the piano, very elegant, very dignified. On what he does with the phrasing, oh my gosh, the quality of the way the sound of the piano, the quality, it actually almost practically mimics the human voice. It practically does. Now, mind you, it's not completely perfect as far as his playing goes. Okay, you can hear him have some few memory lapses, in the faster section on the left hand. He's not quite sure where the left hand's supposed to go, and so the right hand sort of covers it up. But, well, of course, it carries the melody and the other figurations, but it's there. His last name is spelled Gilles. First name Victor, Bictor. It's 1928 footage of him performing Chopin's Nocturne in F sharp major.
Well, he's not on Wikipedia.
He's not Wikipedia. Yeah, I know. Isn't that strange? But if you get a chance, folks, for all you piano fanatics, if you're like us who are always looking for old footage like this is our shtick. Look this guy up on YouTube. It's amazing. It is amazing. He makes it. Did you find it?
It's spelled Gille.
Yeah.
Yeah.
E-S. I thought it was E-S.
No,
there's no S
on it.
Okay.
Maybe I could go back and look at that.
Okay.
Oh, here's a little thing from classical-pianist.net.
Our PSI in action.
I have a feeling his name might be Gilles.
Gilles?
That's a common French pronunciation.
Okay.
I guess it's not going to tell me. Oh, this is interesting.
What?
Wow. This is interesting.
What?
Well, it's a web page, Classical Pianists,
Okay.
and it's got a bunch of them listed from all over the world in the old days, I guess. This is generation 7-B, which is approximately 1870 to 1890.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole ton of them. So he was born in 1884. Died in 1964.
Wow.
It has the menu, home, chronology, recordings, and repertoire. Wow. You should take a look at this. Just to see this page. Yeah, it lists the Chopin Etude in A flat, the first Opus 25, and this Nocturne in F sharp major.
Wow.
This is what it looks like. That's a new resource. I'll put that up on the thing. I didn't know about this.
Wow.
Look at all the lists of people over there.
Holy crap.
And do you recognize any of the names?
I recognize a lot of these names.
Really? I did.
Yeah, George Copeland, Richard Dulig, Frank LaForge. Yeah.
Okay, you're right.
Catherine Heyman.
But they're not, standing on top of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Right?
Ernest Schelling, Arthur Shattuck. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. I do recognize some of those names. So
Michael Zadora.
I'll put this up on the show on the screen so you can look for it. It's classical. They list it as classical-pianists.net.
.net.
But that's how I found him. Now I'll try to look up again and see if his name's on Wikipedia, because sometimes Wikipedia you have to be basically perfect with the spelling. Yeah. And I put the S on the end of his name. I'll try it again and see if he shows up.
Emile Decombe and Louis Diemer or Dime.
He was a big teacher.
Wow.
Yeah, big
Both
teacher
of them are his teachers.
Conservatory.
Wow. So exciting stuff, folks.
This is a big page. Wow. Okay. I'll put it up so you guys can look things up. Go ahead.
Okay, going on? Yeah. All right, so anyways, go check him out, folks. Victor Gilles. Or Gilles? Gilles.
He's not
Victor
in Wikipedia.
Okay, gotcha.
No.
All right, folks, if all you pianists out there, younger pianists, I hope you've been paying attention to what's been going on in current events in the piano world. The 18th Arthur Rubinstein piano competition is in progress.
How often do they do it?
They have this every 3 years.
3 years?
A little bit of some info on Rubinstein's piano competition. It is held every 3 years in Tel Aviv since 1974. Now, the one who planned all this is one Jan Jacob Bistritsky. 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 He was a good friend of Arthur Rubinstein. And he was the one that planned it, and Arthur, was happy to, lend his name for the competition. The first two competitions, which took place in 1974 and 1977, gave the world Emanuel Ax and Gerhard Opitz. And those first two competitions was when Arthur was chairing the judging committee.
Oh, I know Gerhard Opitz.
Yes.
Yeah, he played in Bayreuth when I was living there.
Who did?
Gerhard Opitz.
Gerhard Opitz.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. So anyways, the past winners include Seong-Jin Cho, Kirill Gerstein, Alexander Gavriluk. Have you heard him?
Mm-hmm.
My goodness. I've never seen octaves go that fast in my life. If you look him up, I don't know how you pronounce his last name. It's a really crazy spelling. His first name's Alexander, and his last name spelled Gavrylyuk.
Gavriluk. Yeah.
Yeah, his I've never seen octaves go that fast in my entire life. Listen to the octave sections in like the Liszt sonata in B minor. It's uncanny how he does it. Let's see. This competition also gave us Igor Levit, Katya Bunyatishvili. I'm still not sure.
Bunyatishvili, she was a winner.
Yeah, she was a gold medal winner. And Boris Giltberg, Daniil Trifonov, and more recently, 2023, Kevin Chen of Canada. That one was.
So Felicia Blumenthal wasn't a winner, but he supported her career when she first appeared.
Who?
Felicia Blumenthal.
Supported whose career?
No, wasn't it her, Felicia Blumenthal? Or am I wrong about that?
Support whose career?
The pianist, Felicia Blumenthal. So I was just asking, she's not one of the winners. But I thought her name was associated with Rubinstein because he was very supportive of her piano career.
Okay, yeah, it could
You don't know about Blumenthal?
I know who she is, but I didn't know she had anything to do with Arthur Rubinstein.
She might not, because then suddenly there's another female pianist from back then. And I can't remember her name, but maybe I will. Go ahead.
All right, well, anyways, if you've been watching this competition, which I have, okay, they have 36 competitors. And of those 36 competitors, they will listen to them play a 30 to 40 minute recital. And from those 36, they will pick 16. And from those 16, they will pick 6 finalists, who will compete in September.
This year.
Of this year.
So, but there's only 3 medals, right?
I believe so.
Gold, silver,
and bronze. Right? Yeah, that's it. Yeah. But I'm just wondering about the time gap between...
Well, I remember reading that because of the situation over the Middle East, that they agreed to hear auditions in various cities around the world rather than make them come to
Israel
at the time because...
All right, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyways,
but they have been conducting part of it in Israel now, right?
Well, they at least have some of it. Well, okay, I'll explain to you in a bit. Okay. What they've done was, it's the actual competition right now is taking place in Kronenberg.
That's right.
Academy in Germany.
And they moved it to Germany.
Yeah, so it's in Germany.
Isn't that interesting?
Huh? What?
Jewish pianist Arthur Rubinstein, who never performed in Germany.
Yeah, I know.
After the Second World War.
Yeah.
But they're having his competition in Germany.
In Germany, exactly. But, and I have a few words about that. He even decided to not speak German ever. But however, in Franz Mohr's book, apparently he was working on Arthur Rubinstein's piano before a concert, and he came in to test the piano, and Arthur knew that Franz Mohr was German.
Right.
And so he decided right then and there, after 50 long years, that he was willing to speak to Franz Mohr in German. So he had, and that's 50 years, folks. He hadn't spoken the language, but he was willing to at least talk to Franz Mohr, since he was willing to, talk to him or work on his piano, because he's quite reputable back when he was alive, Franz Mohr.
Yeah.
If you ever are interested in piano technicians, there's the man you want to look up. He has some very interesting stories. His first name is Franz. Last name is Mohr, M-O-H-R.
He was one of the leading Steinway technicians during his life.
Yeah, and he has a book. He had a book out. I don't know if it's still in print, and it's the one that tells all the stories and his encounters with other pianists and conductors and other people like that. And he's got all these stories. But anyways, the Arthur Rubinstein's International Piano Competition. This is the 18th one. It is 2026. We have in the rosters, the judging committee, they have Martha Argerich, vice chair in the committee. They have Daniel Barenboim, one of the judges, and Vladimir Feltzman. Three major pianists, that are working this. And they have 2 or 3 other judges who were previous winners of the competition, also on the committee. So it's quite interesting. But anyways, so if you're going on YouTube to check out these recitals, you can type in 18th Arthur Rubinstein. Let's see. Session 1, or is it stage 1? Stage 1, session 1. That's for the first day of the competition. Okay, if you want to find the next one in the chronologically, it's stage 1, session 2, stage 1, session 3, and so on. Okay, but anyways, so it's been interesting. I didn't get to hear all 36 pianists, but I got up to at the end of session 3, so which is 9 pianists I got to listen to, and it has been interesting. They are a young crowd of pianists. The first one was Pedro Lopez Salas from Spain. Another one is Ido Zayev from Israel. Another one, Ibrahim Ignatov from Bulgaria. That's stage 1, session 1. The 3 pianists. Pedro Salas played the Sonata in A major, Hoboken 16, number 12. On the YouTube notes, they said 17. I believe it's 16. Hoboken 16. By Haydn. And he decided to do the Pictures at Exhibition by Mussorgsky for his program. It's interesting. He played well. He played very well. He had, for the Mussorgsky, he had a few touches here and there that additions of his own, particularly in the gnome movement. When the theme was in the left hand, the right hand had the counterpoint, but instead of just playing the same valued notes as the left hand, he did tremolos. And then vice versa, when the right hand had the melody, the left hand, tremolos. And I think he got that idea from the Ravel orchestration. So, but yeah, it was a good program. Ido Zayev from Israel. His program was interesting. He started off with a prelude and fugue by Friedrich Gulda.
Wow.
Yes, interesting. It was very jazz-like, but dynamically, and the technique, involved was very, very much of a classical pianist idiom. Okay, it was very, it had some virtuosity. Then he played the Sonata Number 2 in G sharp minor by Scriabin, and this is interesting. He played the Suite in D minor. The program notes said major. You might want to fix that. Suite in D minor by Rameau, but he only played 3 movements of it. I don't know how many movements there are, but they did specify that it was just excerpts from that suite. And then, interestingly enough, he ended his program with a transcription of his own, of Ravel's Tsigan.
Wow.
So, and it was interesting. The first few minutes of the work, I was thinking it was going to be a left hand alone, because he played, just left hand alone. Eventually, when the big parts came in, the right hand finally came in to
This
finish
is
off the
Israeli
piece.
guy?
This is the guy from Israel. Yeah. Now, the most intriguing part of this whole first session, in stage 1, was this last guy, Ibrahim Ignatov, Bulgaria. He did Mozart's Fancy in D minor, Polonaise in F sharp minor, Chopin.
Oh, that's a monster.
Yes, it is. We'll come back to that work in a little bit here. L'Île Joyeuse by Debussy, and the Dante Sonata by Liszt to end his program. Now, back to the Polonaise in F sharp minor. I've heard many judges say this. It's a very risky piece to start with, especially if you're doing it in round 1. And you probably can attest to it because you've played the work. The middle section escapes a lot of pièces because of the repetition.
Yeah. Yeah.
This guy had the most interesting approach to it. Yeah, he took that sucker at a pretty good clip. The pedaling, he was able to divide each of the repetitions into sort of like these 2-measure type phrases. And every time, dum bum 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 bum, that quarter note before you go bum, he treated them so differently. Some of them were shorter, some of them were longer, some of them were quieter, some of them were more had a little bit more of an accent, accentuated, and that's what kept my interest. Really. It was very well done. It was one of the best solutions to that section I've heard so far.
Good for him.
I've heard this work in the last Van Cliburn competition a couple of years back. I think it's been only a couple of years. But anyways, it was one of the best solutions I've heard. Now, have you heard Horowitz's recording of it?
I don't remember it.
His is interesting.
Yeah.
He completely, when he does it, it made me sit up in my chair to listen to what he was going to do next, because he's always full of surprises. So he gets there to that middle section, and you hear yum dum bum 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 dum dum bum bum dum dum, and eventually, it gets a little bit louder in some sections. But what he does, you see him go. Instead of the octave A's in both hands, he takes one finger and hits just one A at the top, and it goes off
like a bell.
Well, not so much a bell. Actually, on his recording, and there's even a video footage of him performing the work, it comes off almost like a distant gunshot.
Yeah.
A distant gunshot. That's amazing. And you hear bum 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 bum, and it just appears out of nowhere, because the whole time he's playing it, exactly the way it's written in the page, but then all of a sudden, bum, comes out. It almost gives the effect, actually, the way you hear him play it. It comes off as the effect as artillery moving, little by little, and it gets closer, and then you finally hear a gunshot, boom, bum. I mean, just one finger. I mean, it's funny how he does that. And I've seen him do this before, where he'll take one finger and just go boom, like that. So, but anyways, that was one of the more interesting part. I was more intrigued, if anything, by that performance. But anyways, so session, what is it? Stage 1, session 2. We have a Salome Jordania from Georgia.
Female or?
I'm sorry?
Female?
She is a female. And Hassan Ignatov, who was the twin brother.
And the other guy.
Twin brother of the Ibrahim Ignatov. They're twins. His program, well, I'll tell you his program in a little bit. But let's see, after him was Ji-won Yang from South Korea. She was one of the older competitors. She was 31. She's 31. So it was interesting to listen to her play because her playing tended to have a little more maturity to it. I mean, she was not, she was not, she was not there to set the place on fire. She was it was very controlled, and it was very, I mean, there was a lot of logic to the way she put everything together. I'll get back to her in a little bit. But the solo major Danya, a young lady from Georgia, her program consisted of Sonata in G major, Opus 31, number 1 by Beethoven, the poem Satanique, Opus 36 by Scriabin, and she closed her program with the Sonata number 9, Scriabin. Now, interestingly enough, she's a young lady. She's a very attractive young lady with long hair. She's very thin, long, thin fingers. You know how... All right, this was my impression of her playing. You know how when, in the world of dating, you perhaps meet somebody, you don't want to go out to dinner yet. You decide, would you like to have a coffee or something? Right? Or you just have a small chat. And that was the impression I got when she opened up with that Beethoven sonata. It was interesting because she played with lots of charm. She really did. And she had these facial expressions, but they weren't, they weren't annoying or, detrimental to what you were watching her do at the piano. I didn't get that. I was too busy listening. It was after the Beethoven sonata that she really got into the meat of the program. The poem Satanique, if you've never heard the work, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the humor but dark undertones of something like the Mephisto Waltz. It reminds me of that. The sonata number 9 that she performed, it gives almost it was not I would say an athletic performance like I've heard some, like the Russian males. It was, I got a view that she was more into the more seductive elements of the work than I did with most recordings. It was very well done, very well organized. She has a very good sense of what voices to bring out and which ones that are just a little bit more subtle but still have a presence. She was very good at that. I was very impressed with her playing. Let's see. Then we get to Hasan Ignatov from Bulgaria, the twin brother of the Ibrahim. His program consisted of the Nocturne in C minor, Opus 48, number 1, Chopin. It was very impeccably done. I liked it. It was very well done. Now, we get to the Paganini Etudes by Liszt. He did all 6 of them. And, okay. It was performed well. It was good. But that's all I can say about it. It was good. I was more impressed with how he opened the Nocturne, how he played the Nocturne, than I was with the Paganini Etudes. Now, when you got to number 4, this is the Etude after the La Campanella, which is number 3. He opted to do the 1936 version, the second version of the Paganini. 1936? Yeah, I think it's 36. Yeah, it was
one in the 20th century. So it was like a rediscovered movement or something?
It was this one is the this was the first version.
But Liszt was dead for 40, 50 years by 1936.
1836.
Oh, 1836.
1836.
Yeah.
Okay. 1836.
I
I
thought
did
he
not
said
mean
19.
19. 18. Okay. 18.
Okay.
All right.
Gotcha.
So it was an earlier version of the final version of the this
Oh.
etude. So, and if you've seen it, it's it's single notes. It's all written on one staff. This way. This one has chords. It's done with both hands. It has chords. It is say the least. It is much more difficult to do it that way.
If you think Liszt is virtuosically insane,
Yeah.
look at earlier Liszt.
Yeah.
What are the Transcendental Etudes? This is
There's
the first
three
set.
versions.
This is the first set.
Yeah.
And they're, of the time, really quite impressive period, but they're still a bit Czerny-esque-ish, more than Czerny.
Yeah.
But then he did the second version.
Second version.
And those are insanely problematic.
Yes.
And you played the third version.
I played the third
which is
final.
what people generally perform.
Yes. Yeah.
But if you want to hear something nuts, look up a recording and follow the score if you can.
Yeah.
Of the second version.
Yes. And pianists are doing them all the time at the Liszt competition now.
Yeah.
Okay. Now
Yeah.
they are. There was one or two older pianists I remember having done perhaps the second version of Mazeppa years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a different decade, a different time.
So all he played was the Chopin and the Liszt.
It was the Chopin and the Liszt, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
So, that was about a good half hour right there.
Yeah.
The Paganini etudes performed collectively shouldn't last much more than 20 minutes or so. And that's
So can I throw out a little something there?
So, I'm sorry?
Can I throw something out?
Yeah, sure.
You prefer the Brahms or the Liszt?
Paganini? Wow, that's a good question because they are both after completely different things. I find the Brahms very attractive because when he wrote those books, the Paganini Variations, he was studying piano with Carl Tausig at the time, and so and you I could see some Tausig in it. I can definitely see it. It's he was definitely borrowed some ideas from Tausig and placed them in the variations, and they're very clever ideas. The second book is murder because now you're dealing with polyrhythms there.
Yeah.
It's a lot more. It's worse than doing this and adding two other things to go along with it. It's bad. The first one's bad enough, if you have the stamina and the chops for it. But the second one is more of a mind boggler. You just have, like I said, it's this. So it's pretty bad. I have not learned the Brahms. I did doodle with it a few times. But I have performed the Liszt Paganini etudes before, and that was not it was not as bad as learning it as the Brahms Paganini Variations. If anything, they were a lot less taxing than their Transcendental etudes.
Mm-hmm.
They were much less taxing. I had the texture is much more improvised, and it fits the hand really well. The last etude, the first or second variation, kept giving me fits because you're going the da 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 on the left hand. Meanwhile, you've got triplets going on, descending triplet chords broken chords coming down on the right, which is a pain in the butt to learn. It really is. So, but yeah, that's what I got from it. Now, the last person, Ji-won Yang from South Korea. She is 31. My, what can you say about her? Sonata in B minor. Longo 33 by Scarlatti opened this program. My goodness. It's a Horowitz favorite. He plays that work as well. It was very respectable. I mean, it was. She was. I mean, it wasn't. She's not the one that's going to be going like this or looking at the heavens this way, or she's not that. She was very collected, very direct. Every once in a while, you'll see her eyes open this way, or a scowl here and there every once in a while when she played. Otherwise, the performance was very mature, very musical. Now, what I thought was interesting was the tone, her tone at the piano. It was a solid tone, but I was more impressed by the fact that it didn't have the edge the others had. Mm-hmm. She sounded much different than the others, I thought. Mm-hmm. And it was mostly because it was a much rounder tone, much with much fullness to it and more body to it. Mm-hmm. After that work, she did the Symphonic Etudes by Schumann. Mm. Yeah, I know. Okay,
it's not one of my favorite works.
Yeah, I like the work. Okay, yeah. Symphonic Etudes. Yeah, she huffed and puffed through that last section, which is it's octaves and chords in here and out there and stuff, but it was well done, that one. Now, she closed her program with Ravel's La Valse.
Ooh.
So with all this, it was a good. I was intrigued by her program because the Sonata Scarlatti, Symphonic Etudes, Schumann, very you're very collected. You have to have a brain to play those pieces. With La Valse, it was heart and soul. She had a lot of fun. I mean, it was basically, it was basically her time to sip champagne at that point. Mm. It was. I really liked her program. She played it very well, and when she does the runs, I noticed that she did the glissandos this way, and she used all four fingers on her hand, going this way and this way. Very silky smooth. I was impressed with how she did that. It was silky. I mean, when you hear other pianists, it comes off
hard.
It comes off harder, and they always crescendo to the top, and then they don't control this, and it gets heavy down here. With her, you heard it almost sounded ticklish when you hear her do it. It was well done. So, but anyways, there are plenty of pieces here to listen to. We had a Sonata No. 6 from Prokofiev by Stanislav Korchagin, which he played very, very well. It was a wonderful work. Now, in session 3, stage 1, the star of this one was one Sandro Nabirigi. I don't know how you pronounce it, but you know this name.
Nebireze.
Nebireze. Okay.
It could be J.
Okay, but anyways.
He's from Georgia.
Yeah, he's from Georgia. Same place as the other lady, I think. But anyways. The star of his program was the Suite for Piano from 1926 by Leo Smit.
Yeah.
You've heard of it?
Yeah, actually. Somebody played it in Madison when I was living there. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Well, his program was was intriguing, but also him as a musician was very intriguing, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. Toccata in C minor, BWV 911 by Bach was what opened this program, and then he did the Toccata by Schumann, and then the Suite for Piano from 1926 by Leo Smit, and he closed the program with the Sonata No. 7 by Scriabin. There was plenty of fireworks to watch him perform, but it was very limited. Above all, essentially, he was sort of the cool, calm, collected, sort of just swinging along with the music. He sort of reminded me of, he had sort of this coolness about him, which kind of reminded me of like jazz pianists like Bill Evans and Oscar Peterson. You know, he was very hip, very cool. No big gestures, none of this. He had these big glasses like this. They were big and round. He had his hair combed back this way, and that's why he kind of reminded me of Bill Evans. He used to comb his hair that way. But he was very calm and collected, and I have to say that he sort of reminded me of his tone at the piano, particularly when he plays Bach and the Suite. And what was that other work? Oh, the sonata, the Scriabin Sonata Number 7. He kind of reminded me of Vikinger Olafsson, but with quirks. With quirks. Every once in a while, you heard him do strange things with the Bach, but it actually worked. It's not. I mean, yeah, you have these contrapuntal lines, but every once in a while you hear a note stick out, but it works. I couldn't figure it out, and he's a strange I have to say it. He looks like a very strange individual. He's definitely out of this world. You watch him. His actual appearance, the way he walked, the way he sat, and you'll see him go out like this, but it's not in a crude manner. It's just, he's not faking anything. That's who he is. The way he walks, the way he stands and takes his bow, you're looking at somebody that's a completely different creature. He's also a composer, by the way. I looked him up on Wikipedia. He's also a composer, so he composes on the side.
Spectrum-y kind of person?
Yeah, perhaps. But he was very cool. I mean, when I listened to him play, all I could think about was martini and cigarettes when he plays. He was just cool. He was very cool to watch. He was very cool to listen to. And I thought he practically stole that whole session right there. Session number, what was it? Session 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, session 3. The last pianist in session 3 was from Japan, Daisuke Yagi, a young man. He opened up his program, the Sonata Number 8 in A minor by Mozart, and the other half was Don Juan Fantasy by Mozart Liszt. That one's getting a lot of mileage. I noticed a lot of Asians tend to play this Don Juan Fantasy. A lot of them. And I don't know if that's something, it could be in the culture, and that's what the thing they strive for. It got started by that, by Long Long, because he played that at the end of his, the last work in his Carnegie Hall debut. But yeah, I mean, he was good. Okay, and that's all I could say about it. It was good.
So has this always been a characteristic of the Arthur Rubinstein competition, that they choose their own repertoire? There's not, certain categories you pick various things from, that they just... Because these sound like very... in some cases, I would never imagine hearing some of that repertoire at the Van Cliburn, for example.
Well, really? You never know.
Or have they become much more open to what people can bring into these things? Is it all from a list?
I don't think it's from a list.
Themselves?
I think they just make it themselves.
Make their own programs out.
I think they make it themselves. I think they
there's
pretty much...
So it's interesting to me, because the way I would look at the two, and that's not fair, because I know Van Cliburn's gone through various ideas about repertoire over the years, but it used to be, one would think, that Van Cliburn competition was looking for obviously a really world-class concert pianist, but who could cover various areas of the repertoire. They wanted chamber music, they wanted a concerto, they wanted solo stuff. The Rubinstein looks like they're also looking very much at personality.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, of course, because
I'm
the
thinking
Rubinstein was a personality.
I'm thinking if Katya Bunyatishvili won.
Yeah.
She's a really fine pianist.
Oh, she's a very fine pianist.
Great. It's just fortunately, I'm sorry, I know it sounds sexist, and it probably is, but there's other things to look at besides listening to her play.
I know.
But she knows how to market it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I don't ever think there's anything. Well, let's put it this way. What bothers me in many cases, all these lovely Russian types that are like playing the digital pianos for ads and things like that. And the look and the night dresses and all that stuff and everything.
The gowns, yeah.
That's not Bunyatishvili. She's a real thing.
Yeah. Now
and I think there's a
there is. I mean, I don't think they would have given it to her if she, But with that being said, I did see footage of her competing in that competition.
Oh yeah.
She doesn't look anything like the ones we know later.
Oh yeah.
She was a young thing. She was like 16 or something, and basically she looked like, basically she hadn't bloomed into the swan that we know now. Okay.
Yeah. That's one way to put it.
That's the best way I could put it.
Yeah.
I mean, she was still pretty.
Yeah.
She was pretty.
Yeah.
And that was
16.
Yeah, she was something like 16.
So what's the age stuff in this?
I'm sorry?
What's the age range?
Oh, well, I don't know. I think it's at least 31 because that one lady was 31. They showed.
So what about young?
Young?
How young could they be?
Well, apparently there is a junior division in this competition. They mentioned a few judges. They introduced a few of the judges that were judging in the junior division, and you don't get to see the junior division. I don't know why, but they don't. So, but there's more pianists. I didn't get to see all the pianists, like I said. I saw the first 9. Now, the things that bother me about this competition, they can do better with the organization. Okay. There couldn't have been any more than maybe 30 people in the audience. 30.
Is this because it was relocated?
I have absolutely no idea. But you heard this, and not any roars or standing ovations. Nobody was given a standing ovation. No one got one. You just heard.
Where is Cronenberg? Do you have any idea?
It's in Germany, but I don't know where in Germany. So. But it's the Academy, Cronenberg Academy. But anyways.
I remember seeing that in the general international news.
Yeah.
That when they were starting the competition, they'd announced that because of the conflict, and Israel was getting hit by missiles and drones, they were going to subject these pianists to that, and that they moved it to Germany.
Yeah.
I imagine... I mean, in a way, you talk about the organization stuff, but can you imagine, for whatever reason, let's say there's a monster terror attack in Dallas-Fort Worth?
Yeah, no
and
kidding.
They can't do the Van Cliburn there.
That would be so.
And with a week's notice, we're going to do it where? Santa Fe? Who knows? But that's some serious logistical stuff to take an international competition of that stature and change the location for it like that. So maybe keep that in mind. But
no kidding.
And people might not have really been prepared for it. But do they stretch it out like this as well? Like you said, the finals are in September?
The finals are in September.
And was this the preliminaries and there's a medium one as well?
Yeah. They did it all in Germany. Oh. And they did, from this 36, they picked 16. And they performed in Germany. And from the 16, they will pick 6 who who will go to Tel Aviv.
So the 16 haven't played yet.
I don't think so.
Yes.
Maybe. That's where the confusion is. I'll tell you that.
Wow.
I'll explain it in a little bit.
It's interesting to me because that's a big stretch. Is it always like that? Because that's a big stretch of time for any one of those pianists competing.
Yeah.
Because usually these people, they do the circuit.
Yeah.
You see them in different ones.
Exactly.
If they get in.
Right.
And some of them do.
Yep.
How do you put your competition life on hold for? Well, when did it start? May.
You start. Yep.
So May, June, July, August. 4 months.
4 months. That's what I was.
That's a third of a year.
Exactly.
And you
That's
gotta, you got to hang around, or do you go away and then come back for the next round? Or
See, I don't know how that works, but that's exactly what they said.
wow.
They explained it at the beginning of the competition that we're going to do stage 1, stage 2. You know, from the stage 1, we'll perform 30 to 40 minute recitals. We will hear 36 pianists. From those 36, we will pick 16. And then begins stage 2.
Is there ever a concerto? There is a concerto.
There is a concerto section
Yeah.
or segment in this. And
So-
that's, well, there's more confusion. Just hold on to your hats. Okay, so my other complaint is when they had this competition, they should have shut the building down. On the first session, they had sopranos in their practice rooms going,
No way. No way.
and you could hear
No way.
in the background in the practice rooms
No
upstairs.
way.
Yes way.
Wow.
And then
It bleeds through into the performance
into
hall?
into the hall.
Wow.
You could hear it, particularly in the first session,
First session.
stage 1.
So did that disappear eventually?
Eventually, they got rid of it.
Oh.
But even just as bad, you heard people in the hallway going, ha ha, blah, 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 blah,
Wow.
blah.
So it's
You
an
heard
old
all of
building.
this.
It's an old building with ordinary old acoustics. Meaning the walls
Yeah,
bleed.
yeah. And so
Wow.
you heard people conversating and
Wow.
conversing and laughing in the hallway. It was just bad at the beginning.
Wow.
It was just painful because I'm watching the first competitor who did the pictures exhibition
Yeah.
going out like this when
Uh-huh.
as soon as the violin was going like this, you know, and I'm sure he was being bothered by it. I'm sure he was. You could hear it like,
What about the judges?
yeah, I know. They one of the I don't know if any of the judges said anything. The camera wasn't on them, but the camera was on the pianist.
Okay,
performed
everybody.
the whole time.
So if you get really fuzzed up about this, write Netanyahu and tell him you're pissed off about
Yeah, no kidding.
what they did to the Arthur Rubinstein company.
Yes, absolutely. So, but anyways, so far that's what's been going on. Now, my other confusion is when I got to stage 1, session 2. Okay, there's 3 sessions so far in stage 1 I've listened to, but session 2, stage 1, I'm listening to the next 3 pianists, and the director or some lady comes out, and she announces who are the 3 pianists that will be performing in this second session, right? And she says something about the 6 finalists have already been picked, and they've all performed their concertos.
What?
What the heck is that? I didn't understand.
No, wait a minute.
That
So-
is what she said.
So
They've
already done the middle competition with the 16,
yeah.
and they picked the 6 people, the finalists for September. Is that what you mean?
You see, that's what I don't. That's the confusion.
And they already played their concerti, but those aren't available to the public to hear.
That's the part I don't understand.
Wow.
That's what she said, and this was at the beginning of the first session or stage 1, second session only. Second session only. She comes
So
out.
what you're seeing is seriously delayed from the process.
I don't know if it is or not because basically they should be close to. I mean, they've already picked 6 finalists already. I had to rewind the video a little bit to play it back. I say, So listen carefully to what she said. The 6 finalists have already performed their concertos. I was like, so I'm confused now.
So what's being broadcast is somehow.
But why is it?
Highlights are delayed from the original. It's not real time. The Van Cliburn is pretty much real time, more or less. Isn't it?
Yeah, it was in real time. But I don't understand how we're still watching stage 1, stage 2.
She didn't announce them.
And she announced it that they had the 6 finalists. They had already performed their concertos. I was like, what? And I played it back like 3 times to be sure I heard what I thought I heard.
I get how it's so disorganized. But I think that's because of this whole conflagration in the Middle East.
And then
that must have been
the finals are supposed to be in September.
So
in September is what she said.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I'm so totally
maybe they're
lost.
hoping to reach some kind of peace over there with Iran, so they can actually do it in television.
Yeah, we'll see. So, anyways, that is the news I have for you for the International Arthur Rubinstein competition.
Oh, good for you.
The 18th.
Good for you.
Can we do PSI High Plains Thrifter yet?
Well, I was going to share some of my news. If it's
You got news? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've done all the talking so
good
far.
For you. No, it was interesting. That sounds like an interesting competition.
Yes, it's a very
Anything,
good.
I wouldn't mind watching some of that because the repertoire is so interesting in many cases. You know, sometimes you get... Well, I mean, years ago, I didn't get very far with the international ones, but I remember when I was looking at the Clara Haskell, and there was certain levels of things and certain repertoire that you had to do an etude, and it had to be of these ones of Liszt or of these ones of Chopin. So basically, everybody's making a wiener with mustard and ketchup and putting it in a roll, and they just want to see somehow whose wiener tastes the best and what the best presentation is. I don't know. But they're all the same wieners from the same manufacturer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That wasn't meant to be double entendre. But it's nice to see that there's so much possibility. Leo Smith's Suite for
Piano, I know.
I mean, who plays that?
Prelude and Fugue by Friedrich Gulda.
Yeah, which would be really cool to hear. I don't know that repertoire.
You know? And Rameau, we got some Rameau in here.
Yeah.
We got some Rameau.
Well, that's nice because it seems to me that thanks to, who's that brilliant Korean guy we like so much?
Yoon-Chin Lim?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not just him, but some of them are really getting into the pre-Bach era of keyboard stuff. Yeah. What, Yoon-Chin Lim thought, well, who's the best British composer? He said a Wigmore Hall.
Yeah, it was that...
John Dowland.
Dowland, yeah. John Dowland.
Wow, that's a stretch.
That's a stretch, yeah. I'm sure.
But at least he's playing it.
Yeah, they're probably... Well, what the hell is Vaughan Williams? Chopped liver?
Yeah.
You know, what the heck? You know, now, if anything, what I've noticed here, the playing is becoming much more introspective than usual. Okay. Since the Van Cliburn competition, it was, you got to see the fireworks. It was as far as the third Rachmaninoff concerto and the Transcendental Etudes given by Yoon-Chin Lim.
Yeah.
And, well, even more forward than that, the latest, what was the name of the last guy that just won?
The fellow was he Canadian or Singapore? Yeah.
I think it was Canadian.
Little dude.
Yeah.
Chinese guy.
Yeah, he had a strange name, too.
Yeah.
But
we'll put it up.
Yeah, we'll put it up.
Sorry, buddy.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But
it was an interesting mixture of pianists there.
Yeah.
The three guys.
And his first CD.
Yeah.
It had all that. It had Busoni in it.
Yeah.
The Chopin variation.
You brought that.
I did.
The White Album.
Yeah, the White. Yeah. The White Album.
He made himself a White Album.
Yeah. Yeah, it was well done. Yeah. So, but anyways, you said you had some stuff to share here.
Well, a couple things. One is about a fortnight ago, so let's say Thursday through Sunday, not this past weekend. Today we're recording the show on 12, 13, 14, the 14th of May.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep, that's what I wrote down.
So this was back, the last day of April and then the first few days of May through the 3rd. It was in San Antonio, Texas. Well, I think this was the 68th one. Every 3 years, there's a National German Singing Festival. It's called Singerfest in German. And this one was hosted by San Antonio. And the Texas Regional Choral Association, the Bezirk. It was really cool. This is my 3rd time to be in Texas, and the only place I've ever been when I've been in Texas is San Antonio. I've never been anywhere else in that entire state. But I like it, and because I've met the people there. I went down, I think the first time was in 2019, which was the year after the previous Singer Fest, which was in Peoria, Illinois. And they unanimously asked me to become the national music director. I had a new responsibility to be a board member as well on the national board. So that happened in an interesting way because, I don't know, there was 18 at least different directors there, maybe more than that, from various parts of the country. And it was hosted at the Beethoven Minor Corps in San Antonio. And the first day we were there, one of the first things they did was to evaluate the recent Singer Fest, what people liked and this and that. Well, my chorus, especially the men, had really charged me with conveying their thoughts and opinions about things, especially certain criticisms that they weren't happy with, the way things had happened and so forth. Nothing really vile or terrible, but just some things that they thought, no, this wasn't done well, this could be done better and stuff. So what happened was that they opened up the conversation, and everybody was kind of going around, well, I thought it was pretty good, we did a good job, and we should be proud of ourselves. And everybody went around and goes, yeah, it's good, like that. And then I kind of waited to talk because everybody seemed to be so satisfied. But I mean, they paid for my trip to San Antonio, so I'm like in the electoral college, I got to go and cast my vote. And I thought, well, I'm kind of obligated to tell them what the guys thought. And so I remember saying, I said, well, okay, not to rain on you guys' parade or something, but I have been asked to convey some opinions from the singers in my chorus, especially the guys.
Oh, boy.
And so I told them. And it was pretty quiet in the room while I was saying and this is my first time to go to one of these meetings.
All right.
But I was, as I do, I was a professor and I could put my ideas clearly and everything. And I'd thought about it and had it outlined, and I'd thought about how to word it so I didn't bruise anybody's feelings too hard or anything. And then when I was done, it was really interesting because then all of a sudden there was just silence for a minute, and then it just, well, he's kind of right, because I'm and that broke things open, and then that was the rest of the early afternoon. A serious evaluation and coming up with thoughts about what to do in this and that. So I think it was the next day on Saturday, this first time when I was there, that I was sitting next to a lady from Houston, and I think I'd introduced the idea that it would be really great to try to create, and I'm still working on this, and we're getting along with it, to create a digital online library of repertoire from our libraries and share it together so that any of these choruses that are a member of the National Association could have access to all this not copyright protected anymore music. And because sheet music has gotten expensive. And if you have to buy 25, 45, 75 copies of one single piece, that could blow your budget for the music. But if you have access to all this stuff. So that was one of my thoughts and things like that. And so I was talking to the lady from Houston because she said, we've got some stuff. Would it be possible if we put it in a box, one piece of each of the repertoire, and mail it to you in Columbus? Could you guys scan it for us and turn it into digital stuff like that? And then you can add it to that collection you're going to create. And I said, yeah, that'd be great. So I was talking, and in the meantime, Dave Nelson, who's the director of the Beethoven Minor Corps, says, well, we've got to make a decision about the new director, who's going to be directing us the next, 3-year period. And he said, I would like to nominate Mark Haig. And then I wasn't paying attention. I was listening, mostly talking with this lady from Houston. And then he said, are there any other nominations? And the nobody said no. So he said, well, how do people feel about this? And they all voted. So then he said, Mark. And I said, yeah, because I really wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
And it went by kind of fast. He said, Mark, do you accept? And I said, I'm sorry, what's going on? Not a great first example, I suppose. Well, we would like you to become the next National Music Director. And I was like, and I said, is this because I talked so much yesterday? And some of them laughed. They said, yeah, kind of, actually. But I became the director in 2019.
Yeah.
This is 7 years later, right?
Yeah.
Then COVID kind of bucked up things for a year.
Yeah.
But then they asked me to still be the same thing at the Madison Singer Fest. So, and then I was thinking, last year I couldn't go in the summer to go see him because I had my shoulder surgery, and I just thought, I haven't really accomplished the things that I wanted to do. And part of it has been because of organizational issues and communication, and COVID really threw a wrench into things over a year. But we are actually moving forward with this digital thing. There's Texas has got a good amount digitized. Pennsylvania has a lot of theirs going. Wisconsin's working on it. Ours is done, although it could be revised and some things added and such. So that, it's getting there. But I was thinking, I thought, when they do it, because it's pretty much they vote every Singer Fest, so I was thinking, well, they're probably going to make some determination about that this year, and I've been at it now for, 7 years, and I personally felt, I know I've conducted it, and people like my work when I do it, and this and that, and people really, I have a way, I guess, of, making music and directing that they really like. I'm not the best person to ask about my qualities. Let's put it that way. Because I just do it. I just get into it and I do it. And I don't really think about that. But anyway.
He's a natural.
What happened is on that Thursday when I got up, I didn't sleep well. At best, maybe 3 hours. Had to get up 4:45 or something. Got cleaned up and go down to the airport and do the whole thing. We got to Texas. And we stayed at the Minger Hotel, which was really cool. But they usually don't check people in until 3.
Yeah.
And the reason is because it's a gargantuan place. Hallways and rooms. And they have a good staff there, but it takes some time to get everything prepared. So I went to the bar and waited for my room keys. And I was a bit hungry, so I ordered really nice Mexican food. And I had a beer, and I don't drink so much anymore. And between not sleeping and this and that, so they finally called me, and they said, we have your room ready. So I took my key. I went up there, and I unpacked and did my thing. And then I thought, there was supposed to be a meeting of the board at 4 o'clock. But it was only a half hour, and I thought, well, maybe they're not going to do the voting thing or something, because that's not much time. And I laid down on the bed just for a little bit, because I was so tired. And fell asleep. Yeah, for
Oh.
like an hour and a half. And by the time I woke up, the meeting was just starting. And so
Oh,
I texted
geez.
Dave and said, Dave, I fell asleep. I'm not going to be able to be there, but I'm coming down later for everything. So I was informed early that evening, because they did the board meeting, the delegates meeting, and then eventually the first night of just kind of gathering all the people together and having a good time on the grounds at the Beethoven Winter Corps. Well, when I got down there, because I'd eaten that burrito, I was still kind of sitting in there, and I wasn't really ready to start putting German food on top of it. So what I'd done in the past when I'd been there is there's this wonderful Texas mansion house kind of thing. It looks like something out of the movie Giant with
Was
you know,
was
Jim Dean and,
James Dean and those other guys, Cary Grant,
Yeah, no, not
Cary
Cary
Grant,
Grant.
Rock Hudson,
Rock Hudson. And
yeah.
Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah.
With a big wraparound veranda porch on it and everything.
Yeah.
Well, I used to go, when we had breaks, I'd take a cigar and go sit out on the porch and just smoke and
Yeah.
enjoy the, it could be hot outside, but there's a nice shade.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Well, as it turns out, that was Thursday night. Nowadays, there's a cigar club in San Antonio that has kind of, I don't know, they rent the space or they just got permission to use it. But they hold their smoking meeting on Thursday nights at the Beethoven Winter Corps out on the porch.
Oh, jeez.
So I was going up there to smoke, and there was a few tables set up, and a couple of guys came up after me. I got there just before them. And they said, "Oh, howdy, partner, howdy, neighbor, whatever." And it turns out there ended up being like 8 to 10 people there that were smoking cigars. So I completely missed the whole dinner thing, because it was much more fun to sit there and smoke. And we got, you don't know how it is, maybe, but by the time the evening was over and everybody had smoked themselves out and had to go home for a vision, we'd solved all the world problems. We'd known exactly, if they just listened to us, we could fix everything.
Okay.
Tobacco can have that effect on it. Yes. So then I went over to the meeting just to let people know I am here. I was here. I was assuming that they would replace me because it's been 7 years, and in my own opinion, what have I really done? But in my opinion, I'm kind of like, I don't know. I felt like maybe I've been like Calvin Coolidge, the president, where he was elected once or twice.
Yep, he was.
But what did he do?
Well,
I know he achieved some things, but he was a hands-off president.
yeah.
This is the people's government. The Congress is supposed to do all of it. Then I just signed things, So anyway, I said, but I was informed then by 3 different people at what had happened. Germans being Germans, I wasn't at the meeting, and then people said, "Well, we'd like to nominate Dr. Haig to continue to be the music director," and a few people said, "But that's against the rules. If a person is to be nominated, they have to be present and they have to verbally accept being nominated, and then to be chosen if they get voted in."
Yeah.
So apparently, the first time ever in history of the organization, I think David put up, I suggest that we do an exception to the rules this one time, and that we nominate Dr. Marc, and then somebody seconded it. So I was informed that this is the only time that ever happened, that they've elected somebody to office and they weren't there.
Oh.
And there were some other directors there. And they said, "Well, does anybody else want the job?" Nobody raised their hand.
Nobody?
So I learned that night that, and I was more than prepared to give it up, honestly. But no, they stuck it to me for another 3 years. So, but I have a feeling, well, not necessarily, but it could be.
Yeah.
I don't think it's coincidental. I think they wanted me to keep doing it. But then at the big meeting after that, there had been some talk for a while, but Columbus is going to host the next one in 2029. The whole national, there's going to be a surge of German people
They're going to
singing
congregate
German
here.
music coming to Columbus, and we have to plan all that. So as part of my responsibilities as the national director, what they do after the Singer Fest, which we just had in May, and I think it was the same deal. They do it, the national directors meeting happens just sometime after that. So I am responsible for convening in July this summer a national convention of German music directors to come here to Columbus
Whoa.
and do a 3-day weekend. And our primary responsibility is to choose the music for the next festival. So people come with their ideas, and we look at things and compare things and talk about things, and then we come up with a working program of what's going to be done. And then there's a whole problem with getting permission from the publishers to get the sole use of the music for our program book, so we can reprint the music and stuff like that. It's a long process. But I had scheduled, and I told the people in the last show, a piano concert on June 20th. This is already starting to take some time because I have to communicate with
Lots of people.
70 music directors.
I knew it.
So I went to the church. First thing when I got back, I went to the church and I postponed my concert. And it's just as well because, I'm back.
Yeah.
I think I told you this, or maybe I didn't, but since I've started to come back to the piano, I had the shoulder surgery, you guys might remember, a year ago in June, and I'd fallen in October before that, and it was only after some physical therapy that the insurance ordered me to go for a MRI.
Yeah.
When they discovered that the biceps muscle and the rotator cuff were actually torn away from the bone.
Yeah.
And they were going to have to repair it. So I've continued to play the organ within a month and a half after the surgery, but that's just this kind of thing. The piano requires down weight, and some muscle to play, right? Yeah. And I just didn't have it at all. I mean, it was seriously. I signed up to do a Greek class at the church where I'm the organist, and I dropped out of it because I couldn't write. When I put the pen to paper, I couldn't put enough pressure on the paper to actually get the ink to be on the page.
Wow.
So that's how weak it was for a period of time. But I recovered well and everything, and then I'd say I've been starting to practice again. What is this, May?
Yeah. 14th.
Well, since last fall. Maybe in October or November started. And one of the things I've noticed that I like, I'm getting that tone and that color that I love so much about my playing in more recent years. That's come back pretty much.
Oh, good.
But I also have a fresh view of the repertoire and the music by basically being out of sorts for a year.
Yeah.
Coming back very fresh. And I'd say I probably got about 75% of my speed and my endurance back.
Yeah.
But it's not there entirely. And my left hand's a little behind the right hand, interestingly. So I was thinking all about that between all this planning I have to do and and what's the hurry? Who cares? It's not like I'm making any big money from my performing career that way anymore. So I just decided to postpone it. So right now I've got October 3rd rescheduled for it. And I've been changing my mind about some of the repertoire too. I thought maybe just to start out big and splashy, but I love the piece, especially the slow part of it, the C-sharp minor Polonaise of Chopin.
That's a good one.
And then I thought of taking my Grieg pieces from the lyric pieces. There's a whole bunch of different ones I want to do. They're lovely works, and I'd never really seen them this way before, but they're like little tiny orchestral vignettes.
Yeah.
They're very orchestrally constructed,
Yep,
but
of course they
on
are.
the piano.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking of them more as a conductor and hearing an orchestra and trying to play them and bring more color and stuff to them that way. But then I was thinking of moving it then from the second half to maybe the bottom of the first half of the program. And then because I was looking through some different things. You saw all this over there.
Yeah.
I've got a pile of music. It all came from my dad's library collection of 1920s and 1940s, basically. That, I don't know how you characterize it, but quasi-classical,
Cinematic.
maybe cinematic, but music written out of New York City, you know. It's like, probably wouldn't have happened had it not been for George Gershwin.
Yeah.
But that kind of idea of blending, and Paul White, you know, blending jazz and classical structure and all that together.
Qualities.
So I got a whole pile of stuff, the Cornish Rhapsody, If You Were Bath, and various things, the Manhattan Serenade, and what was it called, Deep Purple.
Deep Purple. Yeah.
You know, it's not Beethoven, and it's not, you know, certain things, but yeah, it's not. That's why compare them. But it is, I think, an important body of music.
Yeah.
And, you know, given our iceberg thing, you know, the pimples on the bottom and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe I'd like to do selections of that repertoire
Absolutely.
in the first part of the second half and play those things. But what I'm definitely settled on I'm going to play last are 3 or 4 really great pieces by Astor Piazzolla.
That's a pretty, yeah.
I love
that's a good
Piazzolla. And I really would love to do these. So that's that story about that. And if you see the flowers here, I think you can see them on the table. I told you a while back that my dear friend Renee had passed on. Well, they had organized a celebration of life for him this past Mother's Day Sunday. And it was at the Hofbräuhaus in Grandview, it's a suburb of Columbus. The Hofbräuhaus has about 6 of its places around the world. There's like one in Vegas, there's one in Pittsburgh, I think there's one in Chicago. It's a big, traditional German beer house, beer hall kind of thing. Upstairs they have this huge room, timbered, very German looking and everything, big room. I don't know how many. More than 200 people for sure. I mean, the place was packed. There was no free seats. There was even people standing, leaning against the walls. It was the largest gathering of people I've ever seen in a memorial service. Which just really spoke to what an amazing person Renee was. Wonderful testimonials from several people, including some of his family. I even got up and said something. I hadn't intended to, but I did. And then the men, of course, sang some pieces. But his daughter, Sylvia Blaha, had really put a lot of thought and care into how to engage people and try to make it more a celebration than just a more. I mean, there were tears shed and things and that, but she made these. You want to show them that bookmark that's right up there with a picture on it, and put it on the camera.
Sure.
That's Renee in these pictures. They made these bookmarks with these pictures on it. And then he was an integrative doctor who practiced real medicine. You know, he delivered 800 babies in his career.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. He started out, I think, as a pediatrician. And then he moved through various things in his lifetime. The latter part of his career, he was an integrative medicine doctor and practiced various kinds of non-traditional healing things. And these orchids here on the table, Sylvia gave those away at the end of the ceremony. He was nuts for orchids.
Yeah.
So she gave us the yellow ones,
Wow.
that day. And then I wrote her and I said, if you got any left, Loris, and I thought maybe we wouldn't mind adopting another one or two. And she said, we have one more, and it's a magenta one.
Wow.
And we picked that up on Tuesday.
Wow, they're pretty.
Yeah. So that's what I've been up to, and I've been playing some music and having some fun with it. And I want you to do this right now, and then we can move into Thrifter.
Okay.
I was down in Texas. Just a couple of things. Stayed at the Menger Hotel, Menger, built by a German beer maker and his wife in 1859, only about 15 years after the Alamo. And it's right next to the Alamo.
Wow.
So the Alamo, the fort, is right down there in the center of San Antonio. There's a kind of a open market and historic area and stuff, but the Alamo in and of itself, if you ever get a chance to go, is a really moving thing to see. There's more grounds around it. It's not a huge sprawling thing. And when you consider it's a fort, barely as big as a two-story house. And that was supposed to be the base that protected the American settlement in that part of Texas at the time. 189 guys, I think, held off at least 6 and possibly upwards of 12,000 Mexican well-trained soldiers for 4 days. It was a slaughter. They killed every last one of them. Kit Carson, David Crockett, they died there. It's incredibly moving. And when you just think, and there's people from Ohio that had gone down there.
I heard that. Yeah.
There's a few of them that are listed as the names and everybody where they came from at the time. They're Ohioans that died at the Alamo. And nothing against, Mexican folks and everything, but damn it, it makes you feel, these guys really thought it was worth it.
Yeah.
And the Mexicans were not kind when they took them out. But anyway, they built the Menger Hotel next to it about 15 years later, maybe. And it was the largest hotel west of the Mississippi at that time. Originally 50-some rooms, which seems like a lot. And then they've expanded over 2 different times since then. You should just look on the YouTube. Just look down this long hallway, rooms, and then you walk down a ways, and then there's a hallway that way, a hallway that way, and it just goes as far as the eye can see. And that's just a small portion of it. I don't know how many rooms there are, but it's amazing. But it's very intimate in a way still because of where it came from. But, too important. Well, it's haunted.
Oh, it is?
Famously. And I had a spirit in my room. I'm absolutely certain of it. Because when I go in, I turn on all the lights just to make sure they work. Plus the switch at the front didn't work when I first went in the room. That's because it connected to the lamp on the desk and it was turned off. So I learned that. But I just want to make sure what works and what doesn't work. Well, one of the bed lamps over on that side was on. And then it started to do like it had a short in it, tick, 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 Basically, you see, more or less, when you see a light that's got there's a short or it's running out or something, it tends to do a regular kind of metric-y, kind of slow blinking off, blinking on kind of thing, right? It did that, but I just immediately just kind of talked to it and I said, so are you one of the spirits here in the hotel? Tick, 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 tick.
No.
Super fast, like a strobe light in an old 70s discotheque. It's just like that. And I talked to it and I said, oh, okay, well, I'm going to be here for a few days. Very peaceful guy, very respectful to you folks. and everything be cool. And then it just went back to tick, 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 and then it was on. It never shut off.
Huh.
But I did tell it after some point that night because it did it again with the fast stuff, and then. But see, I don't get that because if there was a change in the general electrical flow, then all the lights would kind of. Zzz, zzz. But it's only that light, and I've never seen a short light where it isn't just a regular kind of metric blink off, blink on kind of thing. So I talked to it whenever it did it, but I did tell it at some point, I'm going to turn you off for a while because that super fast ticking that can't be good for the filament in the bulb. So
This can't be good for.
the filament in the bulb.
Filament. Okay.
So because there's too much power
Yeah.
coming through. So, but I also wondered if it was Renee that he'd come because he really wanted to go to the Singer Fest.
Wow.
So I started to tell him then after I'd go to something and do it, I'd come back and I'd turn that light on by the bed, and then I'd say, "Hey Renee," just in case it was him that came along with me.
Yeah.
This is what we did today, and this was the singing. I heard the rehearsals and this and that. Just converse and stuff, but it was kind of cool because it gave me an opportunity. Because people that come to the Ringer, they come also for the ghosts to experience it, and there's some famous ones, some famous stuff. Not bad. There's no like evil bad stuff,
All right.
but the stories have been going on for decades, even a century or more. Plus, the hotel is buried on the battlefield.
Field. Yeah.
It's built on the battlefield.
Yeah.
All the way over to the church that is over on the other couple streets down, where there are fellows that are buried in the church grounds that died at the Alamo. So the whole place is rife with that kind of death energy and everything. But anyway, the one really great thing that happened was I saw this on a YouTube thing you watch. Mrs. Minger's original recipe for mango ice cream. They still make it and serve it through the bar, and I think they make it custom made per person.
Wow.
It took them a little while to get it, and I think they got an ice cream machine back there. They just, but it's really cool because it's more like a gelato. Like it's the mango, cream, a little bit of sugar. It wasn't like super sweet. It was more fruity.
Yeah.
And then there was like this skin of like a lemon peel glaze or something over the top of it.
Huh.
It was really good. I couldn't eat all of it though, but it was good. I paid $12 for it. But it was cool because it was like an original 19th century recipe and stuff.
Wow.
And then when we had the big meal on Friday night after the reception concert, when all the different groups sing for each other, the next day was the big, huge gathered chorus and public came and listened more. But what was nice is at the convention center, they had a big spread, food, hot table. That was really nice, everything they did. Texas really set the bar high for things. Surprisingly, though, when you make that much food for like 700 people or something like that, like cafeteria food, right? It's okay. Fills you up. No, it was good. It was really good. Like the mashed potatoes were made with buttermilk or something like that, and they were so smooth and so perfect. Andrew, one of my tenors, was sitting next to me. When it came time for dessert, I went over and got a really deep piece of Texas pecan pie. Andrew went back to the hot table and he brought back a plate of just the mashed potatoes.
Oh, gee.
He said, "This is incredible." Blah, 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 blah.
Mashed potatoes?
Yeah.
Wow.
But they had breaded catfish with a lemon dill sauce.
Oh my God.
And
did you try that?
Oh, that was wonderful. The other thing I really couldn't eat because it's not my thing anymore, but I had a little one. A piece of fried chicken on a waffle. They put the maple syrup and stuff.
What'd you think?
I didn't.
You didn't care for it?
Too sweet. Yeah.
Oh.
Weird to me. But then they had Angus steak, chicken fried.
Oh.
I could eat about half of that because, it was heavy. You talk about it wasn't necessarily German food, but it was heavy.
You tried it though.
Oh yeah, delicious. And there was really crisp, beautiful, long green beans with sliced, super thin, slivered almonds, and it had been cooked in garlic butter. But it was more aroma after you swallowed.
Yeah.
But you can vaguely just enjoy the aroma of the garlic. I mean, wow. They had a deep dish apple pie and a deep dish pecan pie. And it was...
That breaks the heart.
And, and they had southern tea that they made, really strong tea. And I had that. People could drink alcohol, but
Yeah.
drink tea. But that was good, and the Ming Hotel with the ghost was good, and the stuff was good. But the reason I got too long into mentioning all that is that we ain't done kitchen for a while, right?
Oh.
So, in honor of Texas, I'm going to bring you something
Oh gosh.
and introduce it to you. So, you go ahead and introduce Witchin' Kitchen,
Okay.
and then I will excuse myself for a minute and get
Okay. Gotcha.
stuff. Bring back. You can talk about something else.
All right. Well, cool. Well, folks,
I'll be right back.
we're about to ready to start here. So, we haven't done this in a while, but welcome to PSI's Witchin' Kitchen. So I'll just wing it as far as this. Okay, so while Mark gets ready, I'm going to just wing this thing. All right, folks. I broke one of the main rules in as far as going out shopping for stuff. I went and bought the latest issue of BBC's music magazine. Here it is. It's the latest. It's March 2026. I paid full price for this thing. Breaks the heart, don't it? Now, I wouldn't have bought this thing if it wasn't for a couple of things. Well, as you know, these things usually come with a CD, right? The CD for this issue is Rachmaninoff. Oops. Check it out. It is the Rachmaninoff Piano Concerto No. 3 plus some preludes. They are performed by Boris Giltberg. Boris Giltberg, the BBC Symphony Orchestra, conducted by Sakari Oramo. So I haven't had a chance to listen to it, but there it is. But the issue here, let's see, check it out. It's got several articles here. The composer of the month is Eric Satie in this issue. I believe it is. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Composer of the month, The True Genius of Eric Satie by Krilly? Boy, what a name. It's spelled Ciaran. That's the first name.
Oh, it's
Last-
Irish. Sharon or Sharon.
Sharon?
Yeah.
Okay. Last name Krilly. Crilly.
That sounds about right.
Wow. But anyways, there's a whole article here, 4 pages long, but discussing the true genius of Eric Satie. So I was looking forward to that. Let's see what else is there. I don't know if you know the mezzo-soprano Joyce Di Donato. That's who's on the cover.
Yeah.
I guess there's a whole interview or article on that. Let's see. There's an article here called Key Partner. I like that. It's a play on words. Key Partner, Andrew Green on Gerald Moore. The pianist who took the art of the accompanist to a whole new level. Let's see. Another article on the violinist Daniel Hope talks to Michael White. Don't know who. I think Michael White's the interviewer. So, let's see. The heat is on. An article. Rebecca Franks explores how composers are addressing the myriad issues of climate change. Interesting. Here's another article called Sweet Dreams. Anybody guess? Any callers out there? Any of you viewers know what this article's about? It says here, Claire Jackson catches a few Z's in the company of Max Richter's epic length, Sleep. Have you heard of it?
No. So
I have that
new copy.
Yeah, this is the latest copy
You have
issue.
a subscription?
No, I don't have a subscription. I bought this at Barnes and Noble, folks. Oh. But I bought it for a reason because it has this Rachmaninoff CD. See, Boris Gilbert. We just talked about him. He was one of the winners of the Arthur Rubinstein competition, gold medal. And here we go.
There
oh
you
my
go.
gosh, this looks incredible. Oh my gosh. I will go show them.
Okay.
All right. I hope some of you viewers don't get mad or jealous of us, but we got this.
Chocolate wacky cake.
You can't see it, but it's got, what is it, walnuts?
Walnuts. Yeah.
Walnuts.
And so this is a tribute to having been in Texas, because Texas is famous for making these basically big sheet cakes, but not like you get at Costco or something. They're homemade. And this is a really dense cake. Elmer picked up. Now, Laura made it in a 13-inch skillet on top of the. Well, she cooked it in the oven, but with a handle on and everything. But it's really heavy cake, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
And the interesting thing about it is the cake itself doesn't have any butter, or milk, or what was the other thing? But
eggs.
Eggs. And that's because it's a Depression era recipe. So it actually has apple cider vinegar and baking powder in it,
Whoa.
which helps make things raise up. And then it's got a cup and a half of coffee in it. Now the icing that she put on it, though, is a traditional icing, which has got the butter and milk and things like that in it. And then we called for pecans, but we had walnuts. I love walnuts, so we put some of that on top. And this has a little bit of whipped cream on top.
Yeah.
But the plate itself, folks, I mean,
wow.
this is a heavy piece of cake.
It is a heavy piece
Very
of cake.
dense. But that's just a little Witchy Kitchen tribute. I got the recipe from, I have, in addition to all my books, I have a collection of digital recipes I've collected from the New York Times, and then Southern Living magazine, which works in cooperation with some different recipe services, but it's like the mothership is Southern Living. This is from that, and they call it Chocolate Wacky Cake. But as usual, I'll put the recipe up on the screen so you can give it a shot. And I'll put the attribution to it so you know where it comes from.
This is amazing, Mark.
Oh, Laura's the one who made it. I picked it
Thank
up.
you, Laura.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
It's excellent.
Wow. Ooh, I like the walnut. Well,
The walnuts work.
I don't love good walnuts. So, we should probably keep doing our show.
Yeah.
I got some show and tell
Okay.
stuff.
Well,
You got
folks.
stuff?
I'm sorry?
You got stuff too?
Oh, yeah, I got stuff too. So, folks, while we're doing this, I guess we're going to do this with in partnership with the next segment. PSI's High Plains Thrifter.
We get to a hat.
You get to wear hats
We get to
again.
a hat.
Wear your hats.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
So, folks, welcome to PSI's High Plains Thrifter, which is a Western.
Yeah.
High Plains Thrifter.
Yeah, it's based on Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood.
Right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, anyways, as usual, we've been thrifting. This one I wouldn't include as a thrifter because I paid full price for this thing.
How much did it cost you?
16 something.
Whoa!
Yeah, I know.
Ouch!
Yeah. Well, look at.
How often do they publish a subject?
I think this is like
2 months. Every 2 months. Right?
Yeah, I think it's every 2 months.
I used to have a subscription to. Is that Gramophone? Or
This is a
BBC Music.
BBC
Yeah.
Music.
I had that one, and then I think I had what they call Gramophone.
Gramophone.
I don't know if in the United States we still have any classic music periodicals to mount to. Do we?
No, we don't. I
We
think.
used to have some good ones.
Yeah, we do.
But
do.
the British are the ones that are still publishing these things.
So,
And the recordings they send along with those
Yeah.
are really nice.
well, I'm told we still have the piano magazine here.
Call the Piano Magazine?
Something like that. Pianists, or something like that.
Remember there used to be Clavier,
There used to be
Piano
Clavier,
Quarterly.
Piano Quarterly.
That was a good
That
one.
was an excellent one. That
And
one,
Keyboard.
keyboards and pianos, or something.
Yeah, because it always had music. You could have
Oh yeah, it did.
lots of
It,
samples.
you know, that cover kind of drove me up the wall. It looked
Yeah.
almost like, I don't know, like a People magazine. No, I mean, no offense to the People magazine designers, but it just looked too cluttered and confusing. Now, when they did the piano magazine from Europe that came out every 4 months,
Yeah.
that was a magazine. It didn't look very cluttered or anything. But anyways, we're here to thrift. We are here to thrift, and I have been thrifting. I heard by word of mouth last week that the Worthington Public Library had a book sale, and I had to be there. I don't, just out of on curiosity, I went there. So they had their book sale last Friday and Saturday, and thank goodness I didn't have to be there early. Okay, because the thing started at 1 o'clock, I believe. Yeah, 1 o'clock, and went till 4. And when I arrived there, there was not many people there. There was at best maybe, I don't know, 10 of us waiting for the door to open. I mean, the library was already open, but they kept the actual book sale in a room. So they were preparing a room. So this was not as big as the Upper Arlington Public Library. So they kept all this stuff in a single room, and we're all lined up, ready for the door to open. They finally opened the door. It was not a big room. I looked at the audiovisual section, and at best, they just had a couple of shoe boxes full of stuff for audiovisual. But, and people kept, I sort of had to wait in line for my turn to go look at the audiovisual stuff because people were already over there. I think I was third or fourth in line. And so and people were taking stuff out of the thing anyways, and so I didn't think there was anything there for me. But lo and behold, I found stuff in there that nobody wanted. Nobody wanted this Sviatoslav Richter CD recording of Stravinsky's Movements for Piano and Orchestra.
Wow.
Or this recording of Bela Bartok's Piano Concerto No. 2.
With Richter?
With Richter.
Wow.
Or Paul Hindemith's Kammermusik No. 2, Opus 36, No. 1.
I didn't even know he played stuff
I didn't know he played stuff like this either, so I was shocked. This recording was released by, oh gosh, what? Yay Dang Classics. What's Yay Dang? YEDANG Classics.
Those are Chinese things.
I don't know, maybe. It doesn't, but why is it all in English though? So, anyways, here's what it looks like. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. It looks almost Not quite generic, but at least a step up from generic. There it is. Amazing, huh?
Mm.
You want to look? Did not know he played stuff like that, but there it is. And I found 2 cassette tapes I thought that were interesting. Here's the Allegro label release of Brahms Piano Concerto No. 2, B-flat major. Pianist is Georgi Sandor.
Oh, Georgi Sandor.
Yes. Orchestra, Southwest German Radio Orchestra Baden-Baden.
Mm.
Rolf Reinhardt, the conductor.
But Georgi Sandor. Wow.
Yeah.
Brahms too?
Brahms too.
Wow.
Here it is. It's on cassette. Now, of particular interest was this cassette tape. It was at the very bottom of the shoebox. It is released by the International Bach Society. It is a cassette tape. It's a lecture entitled Bach and Ornamentation.
Mm.
A lecture on the art of 18th century embellishment and Bach's indications. There's so much to read here on the front cover. It's in red. According to Rosalind Turek, what is the essence of the art of embellishment?
Oh, cool.
And then the next one's, how do Bach's and Couperin's tables of ornaments compare and contrast?
Mm.
How are Bach's ornaments to be interpreted?
Mm.
The noted concert artist and Bach specialist Rosalind Turek reveals in this lecture, quote unquote, we do have the living art of ornamentation. It is not gone forever, unquote.
Mm-hmm.
So exists. It is indispensable, and quite simply, it is not notes but figures. With great precision, Madame Turek continues to explain technically, conceptually, and most convincingly how Bach's ornamentation is written right into the music.
Mm.
Musicologists and serious students of music will be inspired not only by the studied authority of this discussion, but also by the gracious Madame Turek herself.
That's all in the front?
That's all in the front. Look at it. That's
Good
what it says.
God.
I know.
Wow. Well, that's a really cool thing to have.
Yeah.
Have you listened to it?
I have not listened to it yet. I have to dig up my cassette tape player. And the last thing I found has nothing to do with piano or music at all, but I found it intriguing. It's a paperback version of I, Claudius.
Claudius by Robert Graves, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yes, this was very cool. It's old, but here it is. If some of you are unfamiliar with I, Claudius, it is one of the most successful productions series, I guess you could say it.
Here in America.
Yeah, here in America.
It was made in England.
It was made in England, but it was very
Theater.
Yes, it was.
I remember that. I was a teenager.
Yeah.
I was lucky, you know. We had access to PBS.
Yep. That's where I saw it.
Theater and concerts and things.
Yep.
And that was only started in the 1970s. I think it came out of the foundation of the Arts and Humanities stuff, and they passed it around 1970 or so, where they did it. You know, Trump just recently shut it all down.
Yep.
But to be honest, growing up, as we've often said, in Western Ohio, we had, in our own ways, access to some good things. There were great musicians, there were great teachers. There's serious audiences that really appreciated what we had. But this wasn't New York or Chicago or San Francisco or something like that. And it was a little hard to have access to things. But I remember watching Peter Schreier in the Bach St. Matthew Passion, for example. And Bernstein and von Karajan conducting concerts on the show.
Oh, and Seiji Ozawa.
And Seiji Ozawa, wow, at the Boston
Oh
Symphony.
my gosh.
So, amazing things. And then there was Masterpiece Theater. And one of the things I remember was watching the whole series, I, Claudius, with Derek Jacobi as Claudius. And it goes through his... It starts out a little bit with his youth, and then how he ends up surprisingly becoming the emperor, necessarily because bloodlines and stuff, but his own mother was brutal, nasty lady. Tiberius was the emperor before that, I believe, and he was wow. I mean, Romans had a whole different aspect of morals and ethics.
Oh yeah, sure they did.
But the thing was, is they thought they were joking on. It was kind of a joke that they put this slightly. It wasn't retarded, I think, but he had a speech impediment.
Yep.
Derek Jacobi does a great job of that. I thought the guy was for real. What did I know?
Oh yeah.
Oh, they got an actor.
The acting was that good.
That. But he ended up being significantly important militarily because he pretty much managed to secure Britain, which had been some problem. But during his reign, he actually settled things and took care of it. He was off on campaign sometimes. And his wife did some not nice things.
Yeah.
But so it is. But good for you finding that book.
Yeah. So, but anyways, if you haven't seen I, Claudius, the actual production, it's out on DVD.
Yeah.
The whole series, and critics and film geeks look at this production and they say it is the most perfectly production of any work ever possible on film.
Mm-hmm.
Camera angles, acting, close-ups, the whole gamut. I mean, it's every frame picture perfect from what they say.
And the actors are all British theatrical artists.
Yeah, every single one of them. They say that's one of the most perfect productions ever made.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I was a big fan. That's why I picked up the book.
Good for you. How much you pay for it?
50 cents.
Good for you, buddy.
50 cents.
Okay, I got...
So you got stuff there. Yeah.
The first thing I wanted to show you is I was so impressed with this. I told you I found a copy of it on eBay.
Yeah.
This is a really cool book because it's like a pictorial scrapbook.
It's an album.
An album of a family album, scrapbook, and all that. You can flash the pictures, some of the pages in front of them. This is a book that Elmer brought in a while back. I got mine for $8 on eBay and a little bit of shipping. But it's Manuel de Falla, His Life and Works in English. This was put together by Omnibus Press. The original is in Spanish. But then this is a work of extraordinary.
Yeah.
I love things like this because it's just not a book telling a person's life story.
Mm-hmm.
This starts with him as a little tiny boy, and it outlines his whole life.
Yeah.
His career, his relationships, and it's full of photographs and drawings and from all the famous people that he was associated with. You want to show them that one?
Yeah. Yeah, you get to know Manuel de Falla up close and personal. Here it is. I brought it to you about a couple weeks ago.
Can you open the book and just kind of flash some pages so they'd see?
Look at those pictures.
It really is like a scrapbook. But the research and the organization that went into it is really impeccable. I haven't been able to read the whole thing, but just open sections, and I've been reading and looking at pictures. Yeah. It's wonderful. Because with all the visual stuff, you can really capture what his life was like. You can see, there's even pictures like in the one of the wealthy homes where there were concerts given in Cadiz,
Yeah.
where he would go on Sundays to hear concerts, and it's the
Yeah.
actual room. Where as a boy, he was able to do that. I got 2 other books that I ordered, and I've been buying various books. But I think I got both these from, are these Amazon? Or, nope, thrift books.
Keep going.
These are from Thrift Books, which is a bookstore from Texas, which I like so much. And it's usually, I mean, I found a lot of wonderful things there. Pretty much I'm buying between Amazon sometimes. I would say I rarely buy new. I buy used books. I kind of like, if they're decent shape and the sense of spirit. The other hands that have held the books, I like that. And I have a massive, for a single person, I don't know if it's massive, but for me, used to be that I could say with the library that I was building up through my doctorate at the time, I had read 40 to maybe upwards of 60% of what was on the shelves. Now, no. That number's gone down considerably because I've collected things, and I have a very Catholic appetite for many, many different subjects. And this shelf unit from IKEA is just full of various kinds of things, and there's stuff on the coffee table. I don't know how much of that you can see. There's 2 trees laden with things. And then my whole music library is behind the camera. And then there's more in the hallway, and then there's more shelves in the healing room. There's all kinds of topics and things. But this one I was fortunate to find. It just kind of popped up as a recommendation. This is I don't know how recent, but relatively, say, recent. 85, so it's been a while. 40 years, I guess. But it's Cornell University published, and this woman did her research on Claire Schumann, and the reviews of it is that this is one of the best things ever written about her.
Oh, probably.
And collected. So I gather maybe the woman, I didn't look at the back, I'll tell you in a minute. But it's printed at Cornell, which may mean that she did her research at Cornell. And then they published her doctoral thesis as a book. Is that really the case? No. Oh. Not only tells where she taught stuff, but she was Manhattan College, Hunter College, New York University, and she also was a visiting scholar at Stanford. So good for her. Then I found this other book by one of your guys. We both follow her, Norman Liebrecht.
Oh, never that.
Can be a controversial character, but he really does bring a lot of people's.
Yep, he
He
does.
captures your attention.
Yep.
Some people think he's
Love him, hate him.
He's a flamboyant
doesn't
showman.
doesn't care.
Yeah. No, I don't think he does. But this is an interesting book, and I got it. I got this one pretty cheap, honestly. I think it was
What's it on?
$5, $6, $7 or something. It's the book that he wrote called The Maestro Myth: Great Conductors in Pursuit of Power. And basically what he's doing is going and looking at, I think they're mostly 20th century folks and onwards. Goes back to the early 20th century. Well, no, he's got Arthur Nikisch, and Hans, what was his name? Hans Richter. I think that's about where it starts.
Wow.
Richter and Arthur Nikisch, who was the great conductor at Leipzig, and then also Berlin Philharmonic, who was followed by Furtwängler. And then it just moves through the 20th century pretty much. Looking at all the really great conductors. There's some nice photographs in there.
Yeah.
But dealing with some issues like, well, there's one thing that I was read in here near the beginning I thought was interesting. Very early on in New York, what the musicians were playing in the late 19th, early 20th century orchestra, what they tended to be paid, and what the conductor was paid. like Mahler, for example.
Yeah.
If you put it in terms of historical dollars,
Yeah.
until you get to Leonard Bernstein,
Yeah.
and maybe about that period, Gustav Mahler was a hugely compensated for conductor
Wow.
in terms of the fees they paid him.
Yeah.
I mean, in the dollars that it was worth back
Yeah.
then, not until you probably got to Bernstein and his time with him
Yeah.
did he supersede that. But it's also looking at like, oh, he's raising, asking the question. So how? Because people always say, well, the conductor just stands there in front and waves his arms, right?
Yeah,
It's just a
yeah.
play. No, there's a lot more to conducting, folks. And,
Oh yeah.
what he's looking at, however, in some cases, is it worth them being paid as much as they are? I mean, wow.
Wow.
I mean, what's his name? Von Karajan, a good period of his career, he ruled Europe.
Oh,
Like they
yeah.
said, nothing of consequence, opera or symphonic, happened without Von Karajan's approval. And he flew his own planes and sports cars, and he's actually relatively private about his private life.
Yeah.
But the man was powerful.
Oh
and
yeah.
wealthy.
Yeah.
He makes a thing here that when Bernstein left America, he made a big European period. I've got the Brahms First Symphony with him conducting the Vienna Philharmonic, for example. Wow, it's an amazing performance.
Yeah. Sure.
But he went through and stuff. But one of the things he was looking at was what Bernstein was paid, and he's looking at when he went to conduct the Czech Philharmonic or something like that,
Yeah.
and what he was paid at the time, and when it was still, I don't think the wall was down yet.
Oh God.
So he went to guest conducting, and what he was paid for the gigs that he did while he was there, they said was equivalent to 25 years of a school teacher's salary in the Czech Republic at the time.
Oh jeez.
But there's that book, The Maestro Myth. But basically he's also exploring the idea,
Wow.
I don't think it's entirely true, but one might say, what distinguished these giants from the people that are doing it nowadays? And are the people nowadays equivalent to these guys that did it? I've seen some good conductors that are doing some interesting things.
Oh yeah.
I haven't read the book yet, so I'm not sure what kind of answers he's going to give entirely, but I just read portions of it.
Wow.
I was interested in the whole salary discussion.
Yeah.
So I got a few recordings we can go through quickly
Okay.
after that.
Here.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thanks.
Well, let me show the folks at home what this looks like. There it is, Norman Lebret. Looks like it'll be an interesting book.
Thanks,
Wow.
Elmer.
Sure thing.
So then I got some recordings, and believe it or not, as busy as I've been, I actually have had some time to listen to a few things that I got. This is Tosha Seidel.
Tosha Seidel. Oh.
Now, he was important because he played in Hollywood as concertmaster of some famous orchestras.
Yep.
For example, in Gone with the
Wizard
Wind,
of
wasn't
Oz.
it? And the Wizard of Oz and such. He was the concertmaster in some of those orchestras. And this is a recordings made a ways back in the, 20s or 30s? But there's all different kinds of repertoire. You see it here.
Uh-huh.
He reminds me a lot of Fritz Kreisler.
Does? Wow.
There's that kind of, I mean this sort of to sound racist or anything, but this kind of Jewish
Yeah.
violin playing that came out of like Leopold Auer and all those people from Russia.
Yeah.
Of course, he had a Strad,
Yeah.
and it's a heck of an instrument. I wonder which one it was, because there's certain ones that are named like the Canone, the famous Strad, and it's because it had a big, powerful voice.
Yeah.
This is some of the best violin playing I've ever heard.
I see.
I mean, compared to Heifetz or Chrysler, this stuff stands up.
Oh, wow.
And it's playing that really grand, big vibrato at times, and really tugging at the heartstrings in some of the pieces.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he was about 40 in this. Because I've seen some of his younger pictures.
Yeah.
Have you seen his younger pictures?
Yeah.
Boy, hair out to here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a teenager.
But this was really enlightening to hear because it's a whole different collection of, single side 78s originally, I'm sure.
Look at that, with Stokowski.
Yeah. There's some Mendelssohn violin concerto in there. Not the whole thing, but a movement, I think. But a number of the solo pieces that Heifetz and or Chrysler would have played.
Yeah.
And I think that he stands up easily to him. Really, it's incredible. The guy was an amazing artist. Then here's one of my favorite heroes.
Mastered.
Scott Ross.
Oh, Scott Ross?
Harpsichordist.
Wow.
And this is a really cool collection. Frescobaldi's.
Frescobaldi, boy, that's a name I haven't heard
Toccatas
in a while.
And the Johann Sebastian Bach Goldberg variations. And the toccatas were interesting to me because that's what I wanted to listen to first. And you're going back a ways into the 1500s with this stuff. The very first ones sound to me, and other than they're well constructed for what they are and everything, but it's amazing how unsophisticated the harmonic language was at that point.
Yeah.
And it sounds a little bit like somebody sitting down at a harpsichord, like, what is this instrument, for one thing?
Yeah.
And what can it do? And just kind of like doodling around, Just doodling. It's it's real music written by Frescobaldi. But then as time goes on, he starts to really understand his instrument, and the music begins to really turn into something. So it's almost like exploratory, kind of creating some free fantasy stuff. And then it really takes off. Then, of course, Goldberg variations with Scott. Scott Ross blew me away. I first knew about him because when I was in Cyprus as a professor, I bought the complete Scarlatti box.
Yeah.
The 600 sonatas.
Yeah, I found the one called his Scarlatti Sonatas, and he called the album Dialogues. That's the one I've got.
I was just amazed with
that
this
was
guy's
amazing.
playing. And then
amazing.
Scarlatti is the first thing I ever heard him play.
I know, mine too.
And then I began to hear some Bach, and I was just eye-opening. Ear-opening at first. And then I saw some YouTube videos. You can look him up.
Yeah.
He lived in France, more or less in exile.
Yeah.
He was like a beach bum, weird kind of guy. He probably was, what do you call it, on the spectrum edge or something, maybe in certain ways. He was brilliant.
Yeah.
But he was a little, he spent time like with the beach bunnies out in California and stuff like that. But then he moved to Paris mostly and settled in there. AIDS killed him eventually, but he was so highly regarded by people, and when you hear his musicianship, one of the stupendous keyboard players I've ever heard.
Absolutely. Yeah, folks, he said eye-opening, ear-opening. I'll add mouth-opening. Yeah, you'll be picking up your jaw off the floor when you listen to this guy play.
And it's not affected in some weird way.
Oh no,
he's really quite true to the instrument and to the music, but he has a way. One of the things I like about Landowska. What I liked about Landowska and her playing, she comes out of the 19th century.
Oh yeah.
And the pianists always look for those voices and everything.
Yeah.
She had that weird monster harpsichord.
Yeah.
But some of my favorite recordings to listen to in terms of her, what she finds in the music and what she captures with it in the Preludes and Fugues.
Yeah.
Is extraordinary. Now, he's not a Landowska, but he, I don't know how to exactly put it. He separates all the voices. You can hear everything happening, and it's placed in the right way.
Try doing that on a harpsichord.
On a harpsichord,
on a harpsichord.
Yeah. So then another thing that I got which I got really cheap. Chopin's 2 piano concertos with Christian Zimmermann and the Polish Festival Orchestra.
No!
Something put together.
Wow.
It's something put together in Poland. It's a special recording put out. Is it Deutsche Grammophon? Yeah. I've only listened to the first so far. It's extraordinary because he's a conductor.
He's the conductor.
He
Wow.
shaped the interpretations.
Wow.
He approaches the line of indulgence, but never crosses it. It's just that he finds nuances and so much variety in the color and slight differences in rubato and various things like that. It's a fascinating performance. And of course, when he's playing and everything, but then also, I've rarely heard a Chopin orchestra play as beautifully as the pianist does. But he had his hand in shaping all that.
Yeah, he did.
So if you can get your hands on that, I'm not sure if I bought that. Well, I mean, I always get my stuff through order, but mail order. I don't know if I got that one on eBay or if it came from Amazon, but they're usually the sources for my recordings. But it was pretty cheap. I think I got it for $6 or something.
Wow, that's pretty good. For Deutsche Grammophon?
I'm almost done here, so
Okay.
I know we're both watching the clock here.
Yeah.
So, real quick, basically, we can kind of just jump through them. It was the Ferruccio Busoni piano concerto recording with Noel Newton Wood. We've talked about it before. Wow, this is an amazing performance. Anybody that can play this concerto is an amazing performance. Gary Colson did it, Gunnar Johansson did it, and various people. It's a stupendous composition. I mean,
Yes, it is.
Busoni's sound.
I think it's one of his best.
But this
If not the
performance, and it almost sounds like it is. It says a live performance.
It's live?
It's live.
Oh, God.
Now, you don't hear the audience like applause and shit.
Yeah.
But it has that kind of feeling, and it is. It says right there, it is live. Well, I was really taken with this boy, and we talked about him in the past, because I had a CD that I bought. You already knew about him. But I looked up some more stuff about him, and I found another Australian pianist that I'd heard of, but I didn't really know much about him.
Yeah.
Because he'd be older than me, but you know, when I was younger, and then when I really got out performing stuff, I didn't have time to follow other people's careers.
Yeah.
Because I was doing my own, right?
Well, don't hold us in suspense.
So the guy's name is Jeffrey Tozer.
Jeffrey Tozer! Yes, I do.
And it's interesting because Noel Newton Wood's teacher must have been a lot older. But when Jeffrey Tozer came along as a kid, a teenager, his teacher heard him play, this guy's teacher heard him play for the first time, and he came over and he said, "This is Noel Newton Wood's spirit reincarnated in this guy." He had apparently incredibly similar abilities.
Oh, yeah.
It's brilliant. And an interesting thing about him, when you look at this repertoire, you don't have to show him every little detail, but most of the stuff that he's recorded that I found here is, I never heard of this stuff. There's a piano concerto by Rimsky-Korsakov.
Yes. Richter recorded that one, too.
There's two concertos here, I guess, or one or two. Piano concerto in A minor of Respighi. And a concerto in Modo Mi Solidio.
Yep.
And there is the Toccata for piano and orchestra
By
Respighi.
Respighi, yeah.
I think there's something else for piano. Yeah, Fantasia Slava. And then,
wow,
this is always
holy crap
of a pianist, a really great pianist's ability. A whole interesting collection of various repertoire from Busoni.
Oh, geez, he recorded Busoni too?
Yeah, and it's all this fellow Jeffrey Tozer. I have not had a chance to listen to it yet.
Yeah,
because I've been busy lately, but
yeah, he's a hard worker. He's also recorded the complete sonatas of Mettner.
I think he died.
He did?
Well, I'm not sure if he has yet. Yeah, I think he did, because people were saying at the end of his life or whatever, he kind of fallen into obscurity a bit. And the people were really, certain people who knew his work said this is a national disgrace because this fellow was one of the great geniuses that came out of Australia. And he just kind of fell off the map apparently later on. I think he's passed. But there were some efforts made to kind of revive his reputation. So, those are my findings.
Wow.
And
Well,
some things I've gotten.
happy thrifting.
It was because, as things go, I really didn't spend that much on them.
Yeah.
So, but we both got to teach.
Yeah. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed our show today. This was a great episode.
Yeah, it's fun coming back.
Oh yeah,
It's been a while. 3 weeks anyway.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's been a while, but we had a lot to say today. Lots happening, and please come back for our next episode of PSI. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm about to start some trouble.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So hang on to your hats, folks. You wanna watch a big fight start? Come back.
Whoa.
Not you and I,
Oh.
but I might wind up saying a few things.
You're going to go
Quoting.
controversial?
And well, we'll see if it's it's already controversial.
Oh.
What I'm about to bring. Okay.
All right.
I might even bring him in.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Not what you think. So, anyways, if you enjoy our show, please comment, like, and subscribe. Visit our Facebook page. Let's find out next time what we've been listening to, what we've been reading, what we've been playing. Like I said, let your friends know. We could always use more subscribers. Otherwise, we'll just see you next time, okay? This is
Dr. Mark, and this is...
I'm Elmer, and we are
Mark and Elmer's PSI Piano Scene Investigations.
See you, folks.
Bye, everybody. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.